Okay, what is up? What is
Hi, welcome back.
Welcome to the Andlers podcast.
The Anders.
The Anders podcast.
God, we lost so bad when Yorgos Lanthimos changed the name of that.
It's true. It was such a great title. I don't know why he would change the title.
It's such a I don't think I've seen a movie called And before, and I think I really wanted to.
I think maybe Jordan Peele called him and he was like, "Listen, man. I have one gimmick.
He's like, I need my simple titles.
You cannot
Get Out, Us, Nope. I
you,
need And.
you cannot take this away from me." And he's like, "You got a good point, dude. I like what you make."
Yeah.
And so they came to an agreement.
I don't think this is gonna come out too long after the first one, but it's like farther out from the last recording date than it seems.
Oh yeah, the last episode was like 2 weeks ago. At this point, everything's changed. The Chiefs lost the game
Yeah,
we talked about. That's crazy to think
we've
about.
been busy. We had Thanksgiving. You've been in like multiple concerts. I had the fall play this past literally
Oh yes,
last night tonight.
how did that go? Tell me about that.
It was really fun.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting being a senior though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forget. I
That
forget.
kind of
I forget.
environment.
I forget. Like you're younger than me, but you're also like older. Like I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like I've known you so
if I had a
long.
penny for every time people tell me I was mature for my age, I'd be fucking rich. I swear to God.
Yeah. I just feel like I've known you since you were like a sophomore or
Yeah,
something.
we've literally known each other for 3 years at this point.
That's crazy to think about. That's actually
It's so
insane.
insane. Like, people don't think online friends last, but I strongly
I
object.
strongly object, but I just don't think they don't put themselves in the right like circumstances
That's true.
to
Yeah, you have
last.
to build like relationships with online friends. You can't just like the same things.
Oh, for sure. Because if you stop liking the same things, then like okay,
Then you have no ground to stand on.
exactly, and then it becomes very awkward to keep talking to them. uh,
Yeah, basically.
totally. So I've been trapped in procrastination land for the past like a week. Um,
I hate that. I would say I also have been, but I have a reasonable excuse, which is Tech Week is horrific.
let me tell you, Tech
Tech
Week.
Week carves into your free time.
I've
It's
I've
actually insane.
I've put in my fair deal of tech weeks, and let me say, they make you want to die. But like
Tech Weeks
once,
make you want to like do an incision and like take your brain out of your skull so you can't witness it anymore.
it's horrid, it's horrible. But when the show is done, you miss it like immediately.
There's that high, that like
It's like that emotional high. It's
that
crazy.
fleeting euphoria.
It's right. I remember I played Valjean in my high school's production of Les Mis. It was like
Uh,
it was like one of
I
those.
just played Ghosts of Christmas Yet to Come and Fanny and Christmas Carol.
Wow.
Double
Wow.
roll.
Dumb roll. There's no dumb rolls in the Christmas.
Double roll.
Oh, double
No,
roll.
double roll. Yeah.
I thought you were insulting your rolls. I had to defend. Had to defend this.
No.
Had to
No,
defend.
Ghosts of Christmas Yet to Come is so real.
No, it's so real. It's crazy. Um, no, but like when I played Valjean, I had like this long beard. Um, but then at the cast party,
Kind of always have long beard though. It's kind of your look.
it is kind of my look, and the people here at college and my university, they don't know me without it, and I feel like
They
what
don't
they don't
true.
they don't know me without it, but one day I'm gonna shave, and everyone's gonna be really uncomfortable by it. And I know
You're so right.
it's gonna be especially uncomfortable because of the people that like have known me like my entire life. When okay, so basically the whole story is that at the cast party at like my best friend's house after Les Mis, I like
Uh,
went into his bathroom and I shaved my beard.
Wait, hang on. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, Les Mis was a high school production.
Oh yeah, let me tell you though,
Oh, that's crazy.
it was it was amazing.
I don't know what kind of budget your school had, but
Oh,
my high school, we have no production budget. I'm not even telling you it's a shoestring budget. We get no money.
we definitely have at least a shoestring. But my mom, who's the director, is like a mad creative genius, and so like, having
Right,
no
I forgot.
having no budget isn't gonna stop her from being like one of the most ambitious people ever. And so she made it work, and we also had like the talent for it, and the drive to make it
Yeah,
work. So I'll send you a OneDrive link to like a awful video
oh,
recording of it. But
oh,
it's amazing. It's
an
amazing.
illegally ambiguous recording of Les Mis.
Oh, incredibly illegal. There's no ambiguity.
There's no ambiguity, yeah.
um,
No, every week, every tech week, we have either the Wednesday or the Thursday is like parents' night, so they get to like the parents' families get to come, and the director's like, you can record, but like, don't be obvious about it
oh,
because it's not illegal, and we shouldn't be doing this in the first place.
well, it's not the legality for me because I don't think most people care. Like, there's like full production, like high school and college productions
Yeah, like
uploaded
I don't
online
think
on
most
YouTube.
people give much of a
It's
fuck.
not so much that. It's more so the fact that if you like you never want your
It's also
actors. You never want,
there's very much a culture around theater where you don't record.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
respect.
Oh, for sure. And I'd say that this wasn't on our list, but I'd say that
This was not.
I'd
This
say
was not in our note.
Broadway bootleggers and the culture surrounded it have done a lot of damage to the
Yeah,
integrity.
I say that. It
The
kind of takes some of the magic out of the experience.
Well, it just offends me as like someone who like, you know, really loves live the art of live performance. Like most of my experience is not in
Yeah,
like recorded mediums. It's like in live, and I think I'm better live than I am recorded. And so the idea of that, like, just like turning this inherently live medium and then like
definitely.
creating this whole cottage industry around like recording it and spreading it online is kind of like it's kind of grotesque. But I get why people do it because I mean Broadway companies are extremely bad at actually releasing the films that they make of these
That's true.
shows.
Yeah,
Like
famously do not release many
there's been like
full film recordings.
there's been a Hades Town in a Great Comet film like just sitting in the vault for like a billion years now, and it's just like why not release it? Like why just
Look, you're famously on the fence about Lin-Manuel Miranda, but a shout out Hamilton actually releasing a full edited film.
I don't know why you would say that I'm famously on the fence about Lin-Manuel Miranda. I feel like I'm actually one of his more vocal defenders.
You,
Like
yeah,
pre,
you defend him.
uh,
I'm very like I love him or I hate him.
I think he has some good stuff. I think he has other stuff. I think he's kind of a sellout. I'll say. Um,
Yeah, he's definitely a sellout when he's making like the scuttlebutt shit for Disney's
it's
Little
horrible.
Mermaid remake.
It's horrible, and uh, um, that
You can tell when Lin-Manuel Miranda does not give a fuck.
he didn't give a fuck. Have you heard of the new show It closed already, New York, New York?
No, I haven't.
That show was awful, and like they were like advertising it was like new lyrics by Lin Manuel Miranda. Like anybody could have written those lines. Like they literally just like he literally just like sold, let's say like sold out his name for this like cash grab production.
Honestly, kind of based.
I mean, I get
Not
it.
gonna lie.
I mean, I get it. Get that bag. Can you think of like any other like classic like composer lyricist who are not like old and gone at this point, who are like as visible as like Lin Manuel Miranda, even including those, right? Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
guess.
I mean Stephen Sondheim was never as visible a celebrity as Lin Manuel Miranda is concurrently, even if I think Sondheim
Yeah,
is
but he definitely had like a more theater centric presence.
exactly. But I think that's kind of the thing. I
Lin-Manuel
think
Miranda dabbles.
yeah, Lin Manuel. Well, I think his heart is still in Broadway, but I think I think it was definitely like a career move to Hollywood And it worked out for him.
Yeah, he knows where the
Well,
money's at.
well, it's a big gamble because he kind of survived quarantine and COVID by like
That's true.
being able to like be in animated movies and like having like films already in production, and then like not having any current concurrent ties to Broadway in a time when Broadway just wasn't
Yeah,
happening. It like ended up being like probably the smartest career choice of his thing. And then he can just return to Broadway and they're going to take him back whenever, and like it'll just be fine for him.
it's true. He's kind of become like a dirty word kind of name to be associated with the project, though, for some reason.
Well, that's because his latest projects haven't been very good. Um
That's true.
um Encanto was okay. It had good moments.
I like Encanto. I think the ending was rushed, and I just didn't love it as much as some people did.
I
But I
think
think it was good for what it's
I
worth.
think it was good for what it's worth. I think there's value in it. I feel like from Lin Manuel
I didn't go
Miranda's,
crazy about it like some people did.
yeah, for sure. But I also think that it definitely has some of his most bad songs in it.
Some of
Um,
his most like forgettable kind of songs.
yeah, not even. I mean, I
In a
guess.
in a in an ideal world, Encanto is a movie that doesn't have forgettable songs.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, but I think the problem is that the problem is that I don't think Lin Manuel Miranda's style works if it's not sung through or like rapped through, I guess.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
all of his stage shows are incredible. Like 21 Jump Street, um, is incredible rapped through. I'd say Hamilton, incredible stuff rapped through. In the Heights, I think struggles a little bit, and even
Oh, that might be a hot take.
no, I listen. I think In the Heights is worse than Hamilton.
I don't think that's a hot take.
um, I think it struggles. I think not all the songs in the Heights are great. Um, and I think it's definitely better than Encanto, purely on the fact that I think the tunes are stronger. But I think when
That's
but
fair.
I think when Lin Manuel's Miranda's style is able to fully encapsulate the tone of the work, and it's like the inherent language that it speaks through, I think it like really soars. I think if it's enacting within a compromise between like a play and like a script and his lyricism, I think it's not I don't think it's as effective.
I think his music is most effective when it has a direction.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And
Because
yeah,
Hamilton has a continuously driving force behind it, obviously.
exactly. And there's
And
so many songs, and like the bits and pieces and references are able to pop up again and again, and Kanto doesn't
yeah,
really do that as
and
much.
Contour has like studio mandated you need a song every like 10 minutes.
Oh, for sure. And the beats feel so rushed. Like Surface Pressure is low surf
Surface Pressure is not very
it's
good,
not
I have
very
to admit.
it's not very good.
People liked it when it released. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, it's not very good. And its
I get what it was
implementation.
trying to convey. It's just not very. It's a little over the top. It's a little much.
Yeah, and its implementation in the story is like just not very good also. Like
It's a little forced. Yeah.
exactly. And same thing with the one song between her and the sister, um, in her bedroom. You know what I'm talking about?
You're overestimating my ability to remember Encanto.
That's super fair. That's super fair. I'll give you that one.
And do we want to switch direction?
Oh yeah, we can totally switch directions. You want
Okay.
to do we?
Um, we can stay in the general field. You want to talk about theater kids, straight people,
Oh,
theater?
oh for sure. Because this is kind of an element where we disagree on just a little bit.
Um, yeah. See. Um, The funniest thing is, I didn't know there were any homophobic theater kids
Oh,
until I heard from a coworker a few, like 2 months ago or whatever. He was talking about this one, because she graduated. She was talking about this one kid in theater. Um, he was in a production who was like very homophobic. and nobody liked him. And it's just so funny. And she like was talking in social media, not like a creepy way, just like I need to see what this person is still doing. And just devoutly religious guy, right? Not that obviously devoutly religious people are by like that extent homophobic, but it's yeah, I didn't know theater kids could be that homophobic.
Oh, for sure they can. I think it's an interesting combination because I actually think the thespian space is like the one area where like the common homophobic narrative actually kind of has some steam. Like within the social circle, if you're like a Christian, like Republican, straight white male, in theater, like you are kind of socially oppressed a little bit.
You are actually kind of in the minority,
Like you are,
which is really funny.
like you're an actual minority for the first time in your life, and God forbid that theater is actually your passion, and you gain like some sort of like victim complex around the whole thing, and like
Genuinely, I think straight people are a minority in theater,
oh for
at
sure
least on like the high school level.
on the high school level for sure. I think at the top level, I think I mean
You want to break down like the percentages of like bisexual, transgender, gay, lesbian people in a theater production?
yeah,
Insane.
yeah, because well, I think even actually, I kind of broke down this model, but you kind of brought some like objections to it, when we talked earlier. I think that it depends on your role in, the whole
In the
production
space.
in the space. I think on stage, we're talking majority straight girls, majority gay guys.
See, I think it's just my experience because my school there's a lot more girls in theater than guys. Um, I feel like it's a lot of straight girls, a lot of bisexual girls.
Okay,
The few guys are either gay or bisexual, definitely.
yeah, yeah.
I think there are different types of bisexual theater girls.
I think you're right.
I think there's like definitely a divide.
Yeah, there's the divide. There is a divide because the bisexual ones on stage, they're not the same as the ones backstage.
I think the ones in the lead roles are definitely more of like the popular girl kind of thing going on.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
For sure.
Okay, so in the booth, okay, in the sound and lighting booth, we're looking
Oh, tech booth, totally straight guys.
straight guys,
They're so chill though.
straight
They are
guys,
so chill.
straight guys. But you can also lump in like, the freshman non-binary occasionally.
That is actually so true because this this trans guy who is either I think he's in 10th now, but 8th or 9th. I think 8th grade he had his boyfriend was in theater and he came in one day just and started being a stagehand and he was a stagehand for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely the archetype and now he's on stage.
For sure, for sure, for sure. You'll find the young trans mask. They'll be on stage for one production freshman year, and then like they'll be in the theater class, but then like never again they'll be like in a major role. This is the way.
That's so real.
Mostly tech. Non-binary is majority tech roles for.
See, in my experience, it's majority straight guys, but like the chillest straight guys
Well,
who send like the Discord memes.
Well, yes, yes, those guys exist too. Those guys exist too, but those guys do mostly. Those guys are like the builder types. So like they come in and they like deal with like the wood and like
Yeah.
the screws and stuff. The
Oh,
non-binary.
see, I'm just talking about purely tech.
Yeah, yeah. Tech non. These are
I
different
think
different roles, right?
I think
Tech.
stagehands are different in the
Yes.
archetype.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for sure, for sure, for sure.
Stagehands either like middle school freshmen girls who are friends with other people there, um, or girlfriends, young trans mass non-binary people, and then I think that's mainly the two archetypes. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I think so too. Occasionally you'll also have like the straight, the quiet, straight white guy who like also builds. He'll also do like the stagehand
Yeah, you
stuff.
can alternate between there and tech booth sound.
We had kind of
Kind of the floater.
we really encouraged our techs and like builders and creative types to like be involved in like running the show and stagehand stuff.
That's so real.
So there was a lot of overlap in my department. Um, wait.
But yeah, I think we've spent enough time talking about the sexuality archetypes of the gender and sexuality archetypes of theater people.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. I agree.
I feel like ensemble is like the most pick and choose.
Oh yeah, ensembles you'll find the whole gamut.
Ensembles, you'll find every type of
You'll
person,
find every type of
and we
person.
love that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay, speaking in that same realm, not really. One of my friends who's in theater, um, we were talking about hanging out like after one of the practices, and she said that she just usually just enjoys being by herself a lot. And I think that's actually really common among Gen Z, especially post pandemic, I think. And I think it's just really interesting because there's that like want to be social, but there's just something nice about being by yourself sometimes.
I think it's kind of there's like kind of an emotional experience to like being a little untethered by other people
Yeah, I think so.
and having the feeling that like you're like unaccounted for is like kind of like a it's a weird good feeling. I feel like I've
I
experienced
feel
it.
like during the pandemic, I think there's an adjustment to being more content in isolation, like finding different ways to enjoy being alone and not kind of drowning in the misery of kind of just kind of spiraling.
I'll be honest, I did a lot of drowning in the misery in pandemic era.
No, I think everybody did, but I think out of that came more appreciation because like a lot of like there's a lot of posts about missing like the very early stages of the pandemic, even though it's like a horrible time and like everybody knows that. There's just something about the whole world being alone at home and kind of united in that kind of sense
Yeah,
for a few weeks.
I also think it's like the immediate feeling of every single one of your obligations being like
I
immediately
was gonna say,
erased.
having all of your responsibilities kind of wash from your hands.
Like, yeah,
You had that freedom to explore.
for sure. It's really like late pandemic that I think it got like, oh, this is bad. Like the late summer, like I think
Yeah,
like June was
June was definitely the we're not getting out of this anytime soon
June
point.
June was the worst time. August had like I went back to school in August with the whole mask
Yeah,
stuff,
I went to school in August or September, I think.
and then like
Math
and everything was
and
everything was different. What's crazy is that
hybrid, like hybrid online in person.
for sure. What's crazy is that I remember my sophomore year of high school but like I don't remember the masks. Like
I'll
no,
be honest, I barely remember my freshman year of high school because that was the year that the pandemic was the worst
Mm-hmm.
for school functions. And I just was completely lost in high school at that point
Oh yeah,
because
I kind
making the transition from middle school to high school in that period was horrific.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for the freshmen. I definitely had it easier since I was a freshman when it hit.
Yeah,
So like I already had like a sense of what was happening versus like an eighth grader going into freshman. Like having your eighth grade year cut off had to be a lot more brutal than having my freshman year cut off.
I think my circling back to the isolation, I think my boomer take is that technology allows us to kind of have more of a reprieve from interaction because, like, back before phones were like crazy distributed, you had an 8-hour car ride, you're gonna fucking talk to your parents for some of it because there isn't shit to do. Like, my mom, when she was growing up, if they had nothing to do, her parents would just tell her and her sisters to just go in the neighborhood, find something to do,
Oh yeah,
go to somebody's house, whatever.
yeah,
But you don't really have to do that now because everybody is so online and connected
yeah.
that it doesn't feel as alone.
Well, but in that sense, isn't that even kind of freakier? Because in that sense, you're never alone.
It's very freaky,
and
actually.
and unless you can like force yourself to like turn your phone off or like uninstall social media, like there's almost a day that goes that there's almost never a moment that goes by without like some sort of like social interaction, even if it's like
Definitely.
even if it's like kind of evil and distorted. Like me reading
Yeah, and I
me
think
me reading a tweet on Twitter is like not real social interaction, but it's still like it's like a amalgamation of something that gestures towards social interaction, but it lights my brain up in probably like a similar way.
yeah, it's yeah, it's really dystopian if you think about it for too long. Which um, we're just living in the weird futuristic world that we never could have envisioned back in like the 80s, 90s before this technology. And that's the weird thing. You can never really predict the future because you don't know what the future innovations are going to look like. You can only go based off of the preconditions that you have laid out for you.
Yeah, what's crazy is that a guy kind of did predict it. Though there's a clip, um, talking about like when like the internet just first came out and it was like super hardwired and like it was like the internet was like in a room. Um,
Oh, God.
he was like one day it won't matter where you'll work because you could do a desk job in like Hawaii and the company's based in New York. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's kind of based, actually.
like
That's kind of
like
really look future forward
like
thinking.
bro fully grasped, like not fully grasped, but like bro did grasp like the capability of like the implication of
Yeah,
having like an interconnected system. He probably couldn't have like predicted like Elon Musk buying Twitter.
yeah, definitely. Just because there was no concept to Twitter, right?
Or Elon Musk.
Or Elon Musk. Yeah. Um, Also, I remember seeing it was on Twitter, of course. Of course, everything's on Twitter.
Everything's
It was like a bunch of kids and either kids or adults and like right before the turn of the 20th century to the 20th century were like asked to predict what the innovations would look like, and some of them were slightly resembling something that would happen, and most of them were just completely off base.
well, that's the
And I
thing.
was predicting what the world would look like around like 2000, like 100 years from then.
Listen, if you want to make a great prediction about the future, just say that there's going to be a war in the Middle East. because good chances there's a current war in the Middle East.
Yeah,
And
and
even
it's
in either
and
that,
if you in a future um anti-capitalist pill and anti-imperialist pill and perspective is to predict it'll probably be a butterfly effect because of a Western country.
yeah, probably it's always butterfly effect of the current country. But like chances are the current war is still going to be happening, or there's going to be a new war that started up. It's just always going to like happen.
Yeah, or a Western country will be at war with a Middle Eastern country.
Oh, isn't that right? And most Americans just will not know about it.
Yeah. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. We said that at the end of the last podcast, but we're gonna say it in the middle of this current
We're gonna
podcast.
say it as many times as it needs to be fucking said.
We're gonna say it as long as Israel is a country on the map. We're gonna say Free Palestine.
It is Free Palestine. It's been Free Palestine. It will always be Free Palestine.
True. As long as Palestine isn't free, it's Free Palestine.
Yeah. Do you want to go to a less serious topic?
Yeah, you want to talk about the Taylor Swift news?
Yeah, we haven't even discussed that yet.
We got to talk about the Taylor Swift news on the Swifter podcast.
We have to. Yeah, we're a Swifter podcast.
She released a new song.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
For my Spotify Wrapped, I listen to so many different artists, and I do like discography listens, and one of them was Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift was so long and massive that she became your top artist.
It was my top artist, and I don't even listen to her like that.
That's so embarrassing.
And it said you're the top 6% of fans, and I was like, yeah, I don't listen to her like that.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
But,
well, I bet you.
So I got a video message from her, which was so funny. Given that I'm top 6%.
Well, you should be jealous of me because I got a video message from Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, I did too. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's like an entire section for video messages.
I didn't know you could get multiple. I don't think I got multiple.
It's under the Wrapped section.
Wait, I gotta check this out. Did I get multiple?
So under the Wrapped section,
which one showed up?
Have a bunch of different things.
Did Olivia Rodrigo like show up in like your actual like Wrapped story?
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
Okay,
which is, I think that'd mainly be because she dropped in September.
So this is where I have it on you. Okay, I got it in my Wrapped story from Olivia. So
look, the numbers were fudged on mine.
Listen, the stats don't lie. What rank was Olivia? What rank was Olivia in your
That is a great question. She had to have been in the top 10.
Wait, I gotta check mine.
But it's your artist messages.
All right, I'll check that later. I gotta stop. I'm getting notifications on my desktop, and they're probably showing up on the podcast, and I need them to stop.
That's funny. So she released a vault track, "You're Losing Me," which apparently was already being like spread around as an unreleased track. I think. I'm not up to date on every Swiftie like social media thing.
Neither am I. I think. Well, it was like
a track. So it had a cover that was like the Midnight's photo shoot, which goes way harder than the actual album. It's so funny.
I didn't think it was like I didn't think it was like way harder than the original cover, to be honest. But maybe I should.
No, I mean like the photo shoot in general.
Oh, the photo shoot was like
harder than the actual album.
Yeah, the photo shoot is like top 10 Taylor visuals. Like it's so.
The photo shoot is actually insane.
Like fit 10, makeup 10, hair 10, lighting 10. Like Taylor's like on her like pure like depressed, like
She did all
can't
that for
sleep.
Midnights.
All that for Midnight's, the sleepiest album ever. I
All that
guess it
for
makes sense.
Midnight.
Will
Uh,
Taylor ever look as good as she did in the Midnight's photo shoot? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
I
either.
think that's gonna be hard to top.
I think it'll be hard to top too.
But You're Losing Me was not on the Midnight's Deluxe. It was not on the Super Deluxe.
No.
Which is absurd to me because it's probably better than most of the tracks on it.
Oh, for sure. I definitely like the track. I think the reason why she
I think it
excluded.
has too many antonophisms.
Yeah, I think the reason she
I
excluded
think to
it.
take out some of the antonophisms, it's like one of the best tracks she's released this decade.
Well, I feel like you could say that about like half the Midnight's track list.
Okay, you might have a point.
Lavender Haze is amazing. I feel like that's a great song.
I do really like that song actually. I've come back to it a few times.
Oh yeah, I also like Maroon is good, but I think the central line doesn't make much sense if you think about it. So Scarlet, it was maroon. These are different colors.
I'm not even interested in entertaining too much conversation on Midnights.
Okay, so she released the new track. I think the reason she excluded it is probably the reason why she is probably the reason like she wrote it, because I think it like obviously reveals like lots of things about the nature of Taylor and the Pisces. Yeah, the Pisces is really her relationship with the Pisces, and is he a Pisces? I forget.
I don't know, but
We'll just say he's a Pisces.
Sure. There are breakup-ish tracks on Midnights, I'm pretty sure. I haven't gone back for a while, but
Well, it's kind of there in like Silhouette, but the line I think that like one of the main lines people were talking about was like I wouldn't marry me either. On You're Losing Me.
oh
Brutal.
yeah, it's definitely a sad song. Don't expect like an upbeat banger.
It's so brutal, and the fact that she wrote this in like 2021, like a full year,
Oh,
a full year before they eventually split, is just so.
so this was after the double whammy of Folklore Evermore.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always interested in like the timeline of these vault tracks.
Oh, for sure. The production on the vault tracks, especially in like the re-recordings, is kind of obscured because of like we've never heard them with the old production, but now we're hearing them with the new production.
That's true.
I need.
Yeah. I feel like some of them were probably brought out of the vaults, and this is like this could be the case that they sound better with the new production. So she felt more comfortable releasing them.
I think she probably felt more comfortable given the fact that people had like were already hearing it.
That too.
So
I'm just talking about generally.
Yeah. Well, it's an obvious like inclusion in in like these projects, because it kind of like not everybody is going to have the same like motives to re-listen to these albums that like that the hardcore Swifties do with like the re-recording and stuff. So like including the vault tracks just makes sense, because like she kind of can package these as sort of like super deluxe versions of like
like a re-release that's like a super deluxe and a re-recording.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd listen to every single new super deluxe Beatles album that comes out.
You really do.
They're so good.
The other Taylor Swift news.
Oh, okay. It's a game. It's a game that I like to play.
The Renaissance film premiere happened.
Yes.
Taylor Swift and her gal pal Blake Lively were there.
Mm-hmm.
And they took an
insane
sensual photo, I guess.
Insane photograph.
Like, I cannot explain to you how provocative it is. in the sense that like this is the most that Gaylors have ever gotten.
The most. It's honestly kind of offensive to us Swifters who are, by definition, Gaylor deniers.
And it's so insane that Gaylors are throwing around terms like Hitler. What are you even talking about?
Literally, what are you talking about, bro?
Hitler is just Taylor.
Exactly. It's literally just Taylor.
It is just Taylor.
Taylor is literally the straightest woman on earth. Is there any gay person who finds Travis Kelce attractive?
That is a fair point.
That man is literally a bastion of masculinity. Okay?
That's true.
A bastion of masculinity. She thought Maddie Healy was attractive. You know how much
Okay, I'm gonna object to that because
you know how much into men you have to be.
There's so many bisexual girls with ugly boyfriends.
Okay, they're projecting. Okay, I listen. But that's how you know they're bisexual, because no person not attracted to a man would find Maddie Healy attractive.
That is true, though. I will say that.
I stand by that.
Yeah. Look, if you're a Gaylor, you cannot argue she's a lesbian, at least.
If you're a Gaylor, like, you're not.
You're at least grasping at the straws that she's bisexual or pansexual.
No, it's true. Also, if you're a Gaylor, what are you doing listening to this podcast? Stop immediately. We don't want you.
That's true. Please go away.
Go away. You are unwanted.
Yeah, that's mostly the Taylor Swift news.
That's the Taylor Swift news.
Not much new.
Also, another note is that people I did see that the sort of onesie she was wearing, or the dress she was wearing, is very similar to the dress she wore at the VMAs where Kanye did the thing.
I see it. I feel like she's worn multiple dresses like that over the years.
Sequins are her favorite. I mean, she wrote a whole song about it.
Love sequins.
I'm a RuPaul.
She fucking loves sequins.
I don't understand her relationship with sequins. We need to investigate Taylor Swift's relationship with sequins.
Full-scale military investigation.
It's true, because it's like we need to talk about it. When is Taylor Swift going to break up with sequins? Karma is a sequin.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's it's December 2nd.
Yes.
Actually, it just turned December 3rd where I'm at.
You're in the future. I'm still in.
I'm in the future.
You're still in. It's still December 2nd for me.
We are into Christmas season now.
It's true, but this is not.
It doesn't feel like it, though.
It's not yet. It's not the Christmas podcast yet. I'm gonna do a whole new graphic.
It doesn't feel like Christmas.
I'm not
getting the vibes.
I'm gonna draw a Christmas bracket. Add Christmas app. Draw Christmas stuff.
That must sound absurdly hypocritical of me, because I was just in the Christmas Carol production, but
yeah,
I'm just not feeling it yet.
I'm kind of wading myself into it. I've started to listen to Christmas music. Started to like bump the classics.
You know, I hear Mariah Carey, Michael Bublé, etc. on the radio, and I'm like, I know it's December. I'm just not feeling it yet.
Yeah, I feel like
we postpone it.
I think it's because I haven't gone shopping yet. I just haven't stepped into a mall. Like when that's gonna be the one thing I make sure I do this December to get into the mood.
Yeah, the decorations aren't fully up yet.
The decorations aren't full up yet.
It isn't Christmas until the Christmas tree is up.
It's true.
That's my house day.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about school, and I can't be thinking about school at Christmas time.
It's true. It's not Christmas really until Christmas break, mostly.
In the wise words of Carly Rae Jepsen, it's not Christmas till somebody cries.
Wise woman. Wise woman.
That song is awful. Have you heard that song?
I haven't.
That might be her worst song.
What's it called?
It's not Christmas till somebody cries.
Oh, really? That's the name of it?
That's the name of it. It's pretty bad. I think she released it pre The Loneliest Time.
It's gotta be one of those, just breaking it out, see if it makes any noise.
Sure. Listen, Christmas singles, listen, most of them are bad, especially the originals.
That's true.
But if you,
That's true.
but if you have a good one, you could go down in the history books as one of the most iconic pop musicians of all time.
Look, Mariah Carey literally released one in the 90s, and it is the most popular Christmas
It's the
song,
most popular song.
indisputably.
Ariana Grande, Santa Tell Me, also another classic, probably the most recent classic,
That's
actually.
fair.
I'm thinking Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson.
Those three, like, they get it. Um, I'd
Yeah.
say Sleeper Pick, Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift.
I haven't heard that.
E- Seriously?
Yeah, I'm being seriously. I'm being.
Okay, you have to listen to it. I think it's actually really good.
All right, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it.
It's like the yeah, it is a Christmas tree farm.
I'm
Um,
I'm skeptical of it, but I'll give it a chance.
I can get your skepticism because it came out like before Lover, but I promise you.
Interesting. I'll say I'll say this. Sabrina Carpenter has a new Christmas EP that's mostly originals. Um,
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
she puts up a good effort. I don't think any of the ones. I don't think any of them are going to become like classics in the canon, but she definitely puts up a better effort than I thought she would, especially considering the fact that I do not like Sabrina Carpenter. But it wasn't a bad EP at all, and I think
Yeah, she just doesn't really do anything for me
I think
personally.
I think the fact that it was like a Christmas EP kind of softened me to it because it was kind of like she could kind of like save herself in like the comfortable zone of Christmas music that is in my mind.
Yeah, you really can't hate Christmas music mostly.
For sure, especially if you have taste. Um,
Yeah, how do you feel about the Leafy holiday release?
oh, the leve.
The Leafy.
I think it's fine. I think it's expected. Nothing blowing my mind. From the leve holiday
Yeah,
release.
she really could put out like a classic though, considering she's got like the kind of reminiscent of older singers kind of flair.
That's true. I think if she ever commits herself to a full project, we'll see something really special. But I think like I don't think releasing because she released like she released a cover of a classic as a Spotify single.
Yeah, Spotify singles are so hit or miss.
And then she released and then I haven't really dug into the Christmas with You single. I think that she did with Nora Jones. It's interesting.
Uh,
It's definitely cool for Nora Jones, like a more established singer in like that contemporary traditional pops like space.
yeah, definitely.
It's definitely like it's cool of her to be like linking up with Leve. Even if I feel like Leve's career is in like a more exciting spot than Nora Jones is at the moment. Um, but I don't think anything from Leve this holiday season is like particularly noteworthy. I think it's like, I mean, they're good singles, but I think releasing, I think if you, it's the standard Christmas album format that you'll do like a couple new songs, a couple deep cuts, and then you do like the standards, right? Like you do like
Yeah,
Christmas
it's
or
such a tried and true
it's a try
kind
to
of
yeah, and it makes good album
formula.
for sure, and I love it. But I think that sort of format really opens a lot of because you can do one classic pretty much straight, and then you can kind of get a little experimental with other ones, and then the new ones
Yeah,
on the
or
table.
you can just be like fucking pentatonics and put like one original song and like 12 covers,
Oh, for
and
sure.
they're all overdone and annoying as fuck.
Um, so I think if Leve ever releases a full Christmas album, we'll see something more interesting. But her current
Guys, look at me. I'm a singer from Pentatonics. I can do cool vocal stuff.
Pentatonics is so boring.
Guys, did you know they're a cappella?
Guys, did you know? Guys, did you know that Pentatonics makes a cappella music. Isn't that crazy? It
Did you
totally.
know Pentatonics is acapella? They have no instruments.
They use
Did
no
you know
inch.
Tame Impala is only one guy?
Did you know Tame Impala's? uh,
The
well,
eventual endpoint.
the Event Horizon, the Tame Impala Event Horizon.
All right.
um, I,
Circling back. Do
I
you
do want to.
have like
I do want to say. I listened to today. I listened to Aretha Franklin's "I Wish You a Swinging Good Christmas." Might be the best Christmas album.
love Aretha Franklin?
No, wait, actually, not Aretha Franklin. Cut that from the podcast. I'm so tired. It was Ella Fitzgerald.
Love Ella Fitzgerald.
Probably better, actually. It's kind of a perfect album because she doesn't do anything that strange, but it's all just super high quality, straight Christmas classics. And it's the big band and it's Ella on the mic, and you cannot get better. You cannot get better in a standard
God,
Christmas album.
I miss jazz and soul singers using big bands.
For sure. Even Leve doesn't really use a big band. It's all just
It's
like
really it's a lost art.
it's true. At Christmas at Belmont had a big band tune. It was they played an arrangement of "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen." It ripped.
Oh, that song's really good.
So hard. Okay, you wanted to circle back. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say, do you have any like Christmas traditions that you like have with your family?
Oh yeah. Christmas Christmas Eve we make nachos.
That I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, it's strange, but it's kind of expected, and we do a double feature of Arthur Christmas and Die Hard.
That's such. I would say it's random, but I kind of get it.
Arthur Christmas is the greatest movie ever made, in my opinion. It is so good.
Do you so do you ever have an elf on the shelf growing up?
No, definitely not.
Oh, I did, and and I swear to God, I named this thing like 10 different things.
Oh, because you kept
Its
forgetting.
name in the book got changed like every year when I
Oh,
thought a new name was cooler.
that's kind of crazy because it kind of like it kind of implies a certain level of like aware of the facade. Like you didn't have that much investment of the elf as like this like real sort of living thing, and so you just felt free to change its name whenever you felt like.
Look, I'm gonna object to this because I never touched that thing.
No,
They told you if you touch it, it won't come back. I never touched it.
no. Listen, well, listen. You don't touch it because you're playing by the rules. But like deep down inside, if you really thought it was a real thing, you wouldn't have changed the name.
You know, that I'm not interested in examining the psychology of child me because I don't think I thought that deeply about anything.
Listen, children think deeply about everything. You just need to be aware of it.
You might be right. I think it was more just a thing that like it didn't come to you and say my name is specifically this. So it was like, oh, I have control over this.
Yeah, no, for sure. Maybe that's kind of
But,
maybe that's kind of your parents' fault. They should have set it up harder. They should have been like, this is. They should have decided a name before they presented it to you. That's kind of their fault, to be honest.
that you might be right. Maybe giving a 6-year-old or like 4-year-old child the freedom of choice was not the best idea.
Especially since children are so fickle. They don't know what they want.
That's so true.
It's true.
Usually for Christmas, because we usually go to my mom's parents. My nana is like very Italian Catholic. And my papa's Protestant, so they don't go to the same church on Christmas.
Like your grandparents that are married to each other don't go to the same church on Christmas.
Well, no, because he goes to his, I think it's the Methodist church, And she goes to the Catholic Church, and
What? That's
um,
that's crazy.
well, they go. I think he usually goes Christmas morning, and she usually goes Christmas Eve.
But they go together. But they
My mom said told me that she used to drag them to like midnight mass,
oh my
which is so funny. My nana is the cook of my grandparents. My papa couldn't cook a hot dog to save his life.
Oh, for sure. What was he born in?
Um,
What was he born in? Like
it's so funny.
1930, 1335, probably. Like those guys can't cook.
He is 81, I think, which would make him born in 1942.
Yeah, see, those guys don't
Um,
cook. Those guys don't cook at all. It's like post like 1985 is like a great year for like a guy who cooks.
hey, I mean, he might have not been, he might not be able to cook, but he was a Spanish major in college before he dropped out.
Oh wow.
Funny story, he was a Spanish major coming from a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant town who dropped out because he failed an English course.
That's so funny.
It is so funny, especially because there's like nothing he could have done with that degree.
That's crazy. Wait, so like 1943, 1940.
In 1942, yeah.
Is this guy? Does he have any nom stories?
No, he doesn't.
Ah,
Um,
that's brutal.
I don't think he could have because he has a club foot, so that would be an issue.
He has a club foot.
Yeah, his one foot is 3 sizes bigger than his other foot.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
a little bit of an issue there. My nana is Italian to the core. So like classic Italian American Christmas dish, you have like salad and bread first, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then second course is a pasta and is usually spaghetti with meatballs.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Like most Italian thing possible. And then the main course is the 7 fishes dinner.
7 fishes.
If you think I'm joking, there are 7 fishes. You can choose, but it is 7 fishes.
Like 7 different. It needs to be 7 different fish.
7 different seafood options. And it's insane. I cannot imagine being a picky eater in this family.
I feel like crawfish have to be like one of them. Like in my soul.
No. The grossest one is sardines.
Sardines?
I think one of my aunts likes them. They're incredibly salty.
See, this is why I gotta judge you Pennsylvanians. Okay, I don't know why you would ever include.
This is not a Pennsylvanian thing. This is very Italian American.
Okay, listen. This is where I gotta judge you, like just your Northerners and you Italians. Okay, I don't know why you would ever include sardines over crawfish. Okay.
Look, it's not easy to get crawfish up here, so back off.
You literally live by the ocean, probably.
Crawfish isn't like a staple of northern dish, though.
Exactly. That's the problem. Okay. It's the problem. That's the problem with America.
We usually have, I think, shrimp with cocktail sauce.
Okay, that's good.
God, I can't remember everything because there's so much. But generally, most of them are decent to good. Oh, we have crab cakes usually, I think.
Listen.
Which is kind of cheating, but
listen, I've had the limited experience I've had with crawfish. This is how it happens. Okay, you show up early. Okay, this all needs to happen early. Okay, you get potatoes, you get corn, you get other brothy stuff. You have to cook the crawfish for like 5 hours, and then you get them.
Yeah.
All right, and then but the main thing is that people who do crawfish, they go really hard. They do several courses. All right, a close family friend, their family, they planned out this whole day, and they were doing crawfish, and increasingly spicier batches. Okay, so the next batch was like, so the first batch was not spicy, and then the next batch was spicier, and then they were just gonna keep getting spicier while they still had crawfish to like cook. You get the crawfish alive. Okay, it's crazy.
Dear Lord. So, so the thing is, you think 3 courses, salad, bread, then pasta, and then 7 fishes. That's a pretty good meal, right?
And
Um,
but you still
no,
have,
that's Italian American family.
and then
You will have pumpkin pie and ice cream
oh,
afterwards.
for sure, for sure, for sure. Pumpkin pie, yeah, man. Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is a Thanksgiving and a Christmas staple.
I don't know if I've had
I'll
it.
say for that.
I don't know if I've had it much in Christmas, but Thanksgiving it is
I
hard.
don't think it's a regular Christmas staple for everybody, but for me,
Oh, for sure. So I'm glad that we both have equally weird Christmas Eve traditions.
yeah,
Christmas Day is super boring for me. I just eat like ham and like mashed potatoes usually. Um,
Christmas Day is relatively cool. It's not as exciting as it used to be.
yeah.
It's not as exciting as like when you still the curtain when you still didn't see behind the curtain. So my cousin and I would stay up until 3 a.m. and then fall asleep on the stairs because we were waiting for Santa.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It was apparently either one of my uncles or my grandfather.
Did they wear the suit?
No,
Oh,
they don't do the whole get up. They just
that's.
wait until we fall asleep.
I'm a theatrical guy, so I think if I have children one day, I'm probably gonna wear the suit
Let me tell you, they
just in case
fuck
they
up
can.
that milk and cookies though.
They always do. That's crazy.
No, men in the family will take every opportunity to fuck up those milk and cookies.
Oh, for sure. I also love
I
it when
respect it though.
I also love
Let's
it
be
when
honest.
I also love it when they're like, "Hey, let's be different. Let's be the different house. Let's leave Coke out for Santa.
Yeah, like
Let's
little
leave
crumbs.
let's leave a Coors Light out for Santa, guys. I think this would be a great idea."
Oh my God.
When it's so
Um,
obvious that that's just like what they want.
so growing up, did your parents or family ever get you like the little reindeer food packets to put out in the grass?
No. Well, maybe one year.
Is that just a uniquely weird tradition?
I think they gave it out at school once. I do remember that. That's a weird thing.
It
What?
is. It's kind of fun, honestly,
It
because it keeps like the kind of spirit alive, I think.
it's true. I do think it's crazy that now I remember it. That's kind of weird that they gave it out at school because why is the school feeding into that delusion? Actually, it may be. I feel like it has to be a government mandate that if a kid asks a teacher if Santa's real, they should probably be like forced by the government to say no.
There is a case in 8th grade where projects in English predicated on the knowledge of most 8th graders that Santa is not real. Um,
Oh, but someone,
right.
but
By that point, everybody knows. This one, like, kind of, I don't want to, I don't know if he was just shook. I think it was just a very sheltered kid who had no clue whatsoever. So they're like, there's a dilemma now. Do we break the news to him? Do we like contact his parents? Do we just excuse him from the assignment?
that's kind of crazy.
It's so crazy because
I
they didn't want to like,
I think you have to break it to him, but like with the parents there.
I know, but like you have to like have the parent permission, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very
Honestly, no,
awkward.
that's stupid. It's fucking Santa Claus. Okay, just tell the kid it's not real.
Tell the fucking kid. I was given the Santa Claus talk, the sex talk, and I think another talk. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, all in the summer between 6th grade and 7th grade. My parents were like, "We gotta get that shit out of the way."
Yeah, we gotta get out of the way. I was never told there
No,
was.
you're a middle schooler now.
I was
You
not.
can't be.
I
You
was
can't
not.
be believing that shit.
I was never told there was no Santa Claus. I just like slowly synthesized the idea of Santa Claus
I don't know.
and what
I don't
other
know if
people like
kids.
what other people were saying when believing and what made sense to me. Um, so I just sort of slowly eased into the idea that Santa isn't real. which I think is easy for me because I'm pretty smart, but I think other kids are pretty dumb. So I feel like you should just rip the band-aid off.
See, I am an intelligent person, and that's not like saying that to be. I was an intelligent kid, definitely. I got tested for gifted support when I was in second grade.
Oh my
And they
gosh,
were taking me out of class in first grade because I literally was getting done with shit so quickly that I had nothing to do.
that was like honestly me actually. Well, honestly, well the thing is that I would not do the assignment and then like just sit around. I would sit around and wait to do the assignment because I knew it wouldn't take me the full
Um,
time that they were giving me, and teachers would be like, or like I would finish it, then I'd sit around and they'd be like, "Why is Lucas just like organizing his like crayons or markers?" And they're like, "Did he finish his assignment?" And they're like, "Well, yes." And I'm like, and they're like, "I don't see what the problem is."
it's so strange, but I think it's still nice to get together with family every Christmas.
Oh yeah, Christmas is
And
awesome.
and once every family member is aware that there's no Santa Claus, I think that's just a weird phase in my family right now where we have no little kids. So we just give each other gifts at this point.
That's
There's no point in having the illusion.
that's actually super valid.
And it's just so chill.
Yeah, it's officially it's 4 minutes past December 2nd for me, so it's now December 3rd for both of us. That's crazy.
That's so real. Um, See, my cousins and I used to come barreling down the steps at like 7 o'clock. Now we're lucky to start opening presents by noon. It's just weird, but different. And sometimes different's good.
Oh yeah, yeah for sure.
I want to talk about the Brianna, um, excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Brianna, mispronouncing it, Brianna Ghey trial.
Yeah, Brianna Ghey. It says it. Yeah, Brianna Ghey.
Yeah, I want to talk about this mainly because I have never seen many people talking about it outside of the trans community, and it bothers me. Um, for the majority of people who probably don't know what I'm talking about, I think it was I think it was February of this year that it happened, but I could be wrong.
I thought it was.
It was in the
I thought. I mean, it
it
feels so.
was in the early part of the year. It was before my birthday. I know that.
It feels so long ago at this
Um,
point. I thought it was like last year it happened, and this was like it took a long time to get to trial. But maybe it was this year
yeah,
actually.
I mean, generally these kinds of things do take a long time to get to trial,
Yeah.
and obviously it's been a lot of months.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it was. It
so
was.
this
It was February
year old,
11th. It was on February 11th.
yeah, so I was right about that. This 16-year-old transgender girl, um, was in the park and was stabbed to death very brutally. And learned about it through TikTok. Um, I didn't see this anywhere. No news source was covering this. There is a lot of heartbreak among the community, I think, because there's that reality of we're not safe in this world as it currently is. And I think for me, um, that was before my birthday in April. So I was 16 at the time, and that was a this could have been me moment.
Yeah.
And that is one of the scariest mindsets you could ever be in.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I have the thread bookmarked here. So they went to trial for this because it's a murder case, of course, and they're not charging it as a hate crime.
That
To preface this, which is
that's a travesty. Um.
devastatingly tragic.
Well, does the UK have like protections for like?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
okay. Okay.
I think it's just very murky about applying. They're very murky about applying it to, and many legal systems are. I think about applying it to marginalized groups like queer communities. I think definitely in specific,
Is
it's more clearly defined for racial groups. I think, which is obviously just a product of history.
Yeah, product of history.
Yeah, so
Do you think?
both of the defendants are under 18. Um, the prosecution, like, first day of trial, misgendered her, or did misgender her, um, mentioned her dead name, which is so appallingly tone deaf.
Yeah, that definitely feels like a
Um,
major misstep in terms of like the
how could they
presentation of
ever
this.
assign a lawyer to this that doesn't understand the brevity and sensitivity that you need to handle this case with?
Yeah, I just feel like for
They
for
literally pulled the neurodivergent and a minor card. Um, I'm not joking.
yeah,
Severe anxiety, traits of autism and ADHD. Not even like legally, not even like medically diagnosed,
a trace of
mind you,
autism,
traits.
traces of traces of ADHD and autism were found at the scene of the crime.
Yeah. Um, the prosecution described her as a young transgender person who was born male but lived as a female. I don't know what to say to that. She was stabbed 28 times.
28 times. That's crazy.
The gist of this is they were very psychopathic. They were interested in serial killers, and they very dehumanizingly talked about her.
Which I definitely feel like it definitely puts a lot of there's like the
It's
decision
very disgusting the way they talked about her.
which makes in like the blatantness of the intention of the crime.
This being a hate crime,
It's obviously a
right?
hate crime. I do wonder if the fact that they're both like under
Minors.
minors gives them a lot of reason not to charge them as a hate crime.
Yeah, I have to mention the fact that this is going to be first degree murder.
Oh,
This was
100%.
predetermined,
Yeah, there's no
100%.
I don't see them walking.
They tried to poison her and make her overdose. Um, and she was sick for like weeks or months or something like that,
Mhm.
vomiting, appendicitis that her mother thought, God. And there's like very frequent and elaborate communication.
Which makes the prosecution's like specific language very shocking and confusing to me because
Yeah, um,
this is such a open the door
clear cut
clear
case.
cut case of murder. They're definitely going away for forever.
Yeah,
And so for it to not be
it would
there,
be dangerous to society to let these people back out.
and so
I
for
understand that they're underage, but the fact that they were studying serial killers and had this fully planned out, and they were planning on killing other people, by the way. They had a
yeah,
list of 4 people they wanted to kill in addition to her.
oh, that's crazy. And
It's,
so,
it's, oh my God.
so for me, the prosecution should have been being like, okay, this is such an obvious case. We need to. This is a political trial, right? Like
It's so very political.
this is a
Um,
visible case of violence against a gendered minority. All right, we need to be so desperately careful with the language, make an example of this case and how we are going to respect this community. And so it's so disappointing for the prosecution
yeah.
to not
Um,
to just not respect it in that way.
yeah, and it actually really frustrates me that this case is being covered so nichely. This is a me. I feel like this could change so many people's perspectives on how dangerous it is to be like a transgender person right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like these are people that were acquaintances at least.
Yeah, like I mean, this was like with like in community violence, right? Like these are people they went to school with.
Yeah. her mother confirmed that she was an anxious child who did not normally go out on her own. God, that hurts to read.
Yeah.
It really, really does. Um, the the one killer sent her a text on Snapchat, like I guess is like trying to cover their tracks, which is just so insane. And she was found still alive, but like they they were unsurvivable injuries.
Yeah. Like it was. Yeah. Totally.
I will say, if you want to read this thread, the thread I'm reading is from on Twitter, Jess O. Thompson.
We'll link. We'll link the.
Jess,
We're gonna link the thread in the description. You should
we
definitely
will, yeah.
read through it for sure.
Read at your own discretion because it is very triggering, obviously.
It's very upsetting, but I do
I think it's important.
yeah, it is important, and I think that it's important. I think that definitely I definitely hope that more more coverage gets put on this specific case as it gets later into it, and
Yeah,
it'll definitely be interesting to see like the retrospectives of it, and I guess documentaries that get made about it.
yeah. I hope they don't make documentaries, true crime shit about this. It would feel so gross.
Well, I hope they make a documentary from like a
At least, handle it with care.
with like a from like an activist standpoint in terms of like covering the story and like what it means in like the larger
I
culture.
agree. Do you want to just quickly go over the results of the tournament we had?
Oh my gosh, the Art High's favorite song tournament. I actually didn't. I haven't even thought about that.
So for a group chat that we were both in, we had a tournament of 7 of us submitted 10 favorite songs, and we had 2 overlaps, which were wild cards.
It's true.
And it got many people very riled up.
It's
especially when one of the people who's on like soccer Twitter,
kind of a large account, by the way, like 4,000
followers,
way bigger than any of us.
Pretty big.
Other people.
Would retweet it like, "Can't believe Dylan is losing" or something like that, and people would be like,
"Oh my gosh, you're so right."
Doesn't even make music or something like that. It'd be like, what the fuck are these people on about?
Sis is barely a musician.
Yeah. A little bit racist, a little bit misogynistic.
Love a little bit of racism.
But
Tangled Up,
as you can probably tell from that, Bob Dylan won.
Tangled Up in Blue did end up beating I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers in the final.
We made such a push for Phoebe.
I was making a push for Phoebe, but I'm not upset about the results because Tangled Up in Blue, it is a classic. I think my relationship with an I Know the End specifically, and like it may be a little stronger, especially since like I'm definitely closer to other Bob Dylan songs compared to Tangled Up in Blue specifically.
Yeah, but it doesn't always go your way, and
it's true.
To be fair, the majority, most of us were submitting very niche picks. So
it's true. But
the funny thing is, the one guy who submitted like the most populous list possible and got like the most like top 8, I think, votes or submissions.
Yeah, didn't end up going to the final.
Didn't surprisingly.
Surprising because the semifinal had like less than 10 votes in total, but no one seemed to care about that round.
Yeah. It's really depended on the retweets.
Yeah, the retweets kind of carried.
They're kind of huge.
But we'll shout out any other Art Hive song tournaments we do in the future.
Yeah, we'll definitely mention them prior to their being carried out. We could even have our own bracket, the two of us, and choose like 32 each, like the Hive Mind video.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. That would be a lot
It wouldn't
better.
be a bad idea. I
That
think
I
it'd be less.
that actually would be a much better idea.
The pot could be stirred a lot less.
It's true. I'd say I think it was like 71 songs because I accidentally forgot to put someone's song on on the bracket. I like texted them when I figured out and everything, and I was like, "Hey, I can like replace your song with my song," but they were just like, "Just continue going on. It's fine." Um,
Yeah.
uh,
So I think we can wrap up on a little bit of a happier note.
oh, for sure, for sure.
I think George Santos,
Oh
he's
no,
out of
no, no,
office.
no, no. We're talking about George Santos next podcast.
I was gonna say we can talk about him more next podcast.
We definitely cannot talk
We
about
have to
him
make a
right now.
footnote of that.
All right,
We
especially
have so much to say.
yeah. So
Okay, definitely big topic for next podcast. Look out for that. You can find us. You can find me at fionappletree on Twitter and with one A.
you can find me at Lucas_copy_1 on Twitter. Spelled exactly like that. It's with a K. It's in the both of these are in the description, by the way.
Yeah, we'll link those in the description. We'll also link the thread to the trial notes in the description.
It's true.
And
If you're listening to this podcast and you heard my desktop notification sounds, no, you didn't.
if you hear any awkward pauses, it wasn't my editing. Definitely not.
Definitely wasn't our fault. I actually might end up just editing this because I think I can do it a lot faster than the other one. I think I was a little worried beforehand, but I think I could get this.
Okay.
I think I could get this one out pretty fast.
And pump it out.
All right, just pump it out. Maybe get it out tonight. It's
All
already
right.
it's already like 12:22 anyway. Who cares?
All right. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening, we really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it, and we let's try to stay it together.
We promise to be more consistent.
We promise to be more consistent
with future episodes.
It's true. It's true. But let's say the end tagline together. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. What tagline?
The tagline. Free Palestine is the tagline.
Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. I want to say something before that.
Okay.
All right. Stay nice, stay friendly, stay being good people, stay being chronically online. Or don't. I'm not your mom.
I don't know any about that, but Free Palestine.